We are in Acts 4:13 through 18. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were uneducated and untrained men, they marveled. Notice here, marveled. Another a remarkable phrase. They're in wonder. It's like, what the? And they realized that they had been with Jesus. That's the only reason why they could speak with such boldness. In a sense, we should probably disagree with the opinion of the Jewish leaders judging Peter and John. Certainly, they were uneducated in one sense. They, like Jesus, had no formal rabbinic education according to the custom and standard of the time, yet they were educated in two important ways. They knew the scriptures, and they had been with Jesus. And seeing the man who had been healed standing with them, they could say nothing against it. This miracle was closely examined by doubters, and they stood as a genuine miracle. This was not a case where the healing was lost in a few hours, as some of our faith healers do today. It happened and it stayed. But when they had commanded them to go outside the council, they conferred amongst themselves, saying, "What shall we do with these men?" Luke probably found out what the Sanhedrin discussed among themselves, because a member of the Sanhedrin later became a Christian. His name was Saul of Tarsus. Oh, yeah, you'd know him as the Apostle Paul. If this is true, we can say that Peter and John had no idea they were preaching to a future apostle and the greatest missionary the church would ever see. An example of how truth can get through into the heart of a person. Their hearts were corrupt, it was plain. They acknowledged that the miracle had simply had genuinely happened, yet they refused to submit to God who worked the miracle. For indeed, that notable miracle had been done through them is evident to all who dwell in Jerusalem. We cannot deny it, but so that it spreads no further among the people, let us severely threaten them that they now they speak to no man in this name. They called them and commanded them not to speak or teach in the name of Jesus. Their fear of preaching of Jesus was rooted in their own sinful interest, not in the desire to protect the people. And again, how many nations in this world where it's against the law to preach Jesus? And the reason for that is fear on the part of those giving such laws.